Mewatabakeliye behaboy. Mewatabakeliye behaboy. Mewatabakeliye behaboy. Ya mewatabakeliye behaboy. Ya mewatabakeliye behaboy. Give thanks and praise, dissidents. It's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. I want to give thanks and praise to every damn buddy. I had a wonderful time just yesterday. Kaylee Berkana invited me on an improv astrology reading that was very informative and very enriching. And then just after that, I go on to Topher's Biocharisma channel, and he's interviewing Emily Moyer, and they're talking about the Olympic dance ceremony and the tomfoolery around Miss Kangaroo, making quite a mockery out of my particular art craft that fuels my fire. It simply fuels my fire. I'm not going to channel any vitriol at all, as I know, believe, and live in ambivalence over the dark spellcrafters that presume to mock. Likewise, I want to give thanks and praise to Kat in my Telegram group. She brought forward the Chicago Bulls logo, and I started just data dumping from old weaves and bringing a lot of the consistency forward. And I realized, with these events taking place in Chicago, that I should get ahead of the spellcraft as soon as I can, and also share these things with the dissident team out here in the YouTube world. And everybody, please don't forget, speaking of bulls and statutory authority, don't forget, I got my Cash App, I got my PayPal, y'all. I'm bringing a lot of consistency and a lot of coherency to the vast systems that I actually have caught wind of, and I definitely care to share them with you guys. And some of the egregoric mantles from ancient of days are still alive and well, and I just want to give people a firm foundation of this consistency and the coherency theurgy that I love to do on my channel. So Kat, thank you so much. Thank you so much for bringing the Bulls logo. And Aaron in my Telegram group was pointing out some powerful consistency. So I'm going to try to bring that weave here for everybody to appreciate and enjoy and dismantle from your subconscious by putting a name to it and empowering all of us to see the priest class handiwork. So there will be quite a few graphics. I'm going to try to stay as linear as I can, but the overall theme on this installation will have a great amount to do with the cowbellistic spellcraft, as Aleph is the first letter in most alphabets, and it does not simply signify the bull or the bitten apple. It also signifies the castrated ox, that all the rest of the herd will follow this castrated ox, as it is the bellwether. And all they need to do, they don't need to think, they just need to follow the pattern of this bell, and they just follow the bellwether right off the cliff. So I want to give this spell its proper dismantling. That's my goal today. So yeah, don't forget about my PayPal and my Cash App, y'all. I'm so excited to receive, and I'm also so excited to convey the consistency of this entire system. So there's a great amount of conflagrating energies around Chicago right now. And so I'm going to bring the Chicago Bulls logo forward, and I want everybody to take note of the 3 particular jerseys that Michael Jordan wore in his career. All of them point to the fascinating revelation of the tarot cards in their prime stations here. As Michael Jordan was an athlete of epic uh, um, renown, and he will never be dethroned from being one of the greatest athletes of all time. That fool could back every claim he ever made and then some. So his jersey in his principal career path was 23. And 23 is the ninth prime number. And even when he changed his jersey, he went to 45, which sums to a 23. And then when he went on the Olympics team, he wore the jersey number 9, all hailing to this Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant in most tarot decks is a revelation of the bullshit, in the medicine of the bullshit that is the Amanita muscaria mushroom. Now, if you look at the symbol of the bull jersey, you'll notice that strange energy device, the 3-barred energy device that the standard Rider-Waite Hierophant is wearing. You'll also notice the color consistency of the red versus the white, the red on the white, which is the color of the Amanita muscaria mushroom. And even in the Thoth deck, he is surrounded by the masks. So he's going to need a muscaria mushroom, is also hailed by this. But the other type of mushroom that comes out of the bowl is psilocybin. Hey, look at me. Look at me. That's like the first time ever I was able to recall the 2 different mushrooms in the same sentence. So I'm going to bring some graphics that reveal that even on the Rider-Waite Hierophant, the 2 acolytes at his feet, they're Balhamon. They are signifying the I just forgot it. Psilocybin mushroom typology. So both of the psychedelic mushrooms are signified on that other deck. And on this deck, you even have, like, I think it's called the Widowmaker or the Death mushroom. I don't know. I'll bring the graphic. These are very old weaves for me, so I'm a little bit hazy on the details, and I'm probably going to forget more than I remember. So I'm just going to try to convey this as concisely and consistently as I can. So as well, Jean-Claude Van Damme, the ballerina, he did a fascinating commercial to advertise remote-controlled semi-trucks or automated semi-trucks, as he did the splits between 2 semis driving down the road. And so even so this is the Eridanus River at the foot of the Orion constellation, which is in Taurus. And so Michael Jordan, being the hero of heroes in Taurus, is signifying Orion. Orion is the greatest hero of the heavens, mostly because he's so large. He's also David slaying Goliath. See if I can bring a graphic on that. The Orion constellation is actually a little anthropomorphic man mounted on the head of an ancient constellation that is much larger than Orion, called the Shah. And so the shock and awe of a hero chopping the head off of a giant Nephilim character, that is David slaying Goliath, when he slices the head off of Goliath. Goliath's henchmen were depicted as bull worshippers. On their shield, they often would have the head of a bull. So I just wanted to bring all of that consistency forward for a lot of the culminating components of this conflagration in Chicago that's happening at the moment. As well, a lot of people think that that Putin's going to nuke Chicago, or North Korea is going to nuke Chicago. The strange thing about that implication is that it's putting the image of a giant mushroom in your head. Even when you put the exploding mind emoji, that is a mushroom. Hail to the mushroom. And anybody who's done your psychedelics, yeah, feels like a nuke. Feels like you are a walking nuclear bomb for quite a few hours at a time. So I just wanted to bring those things into consistent context, as the heart palpitations of the threat of a nuclear bomb are all um, easily accessed by innuendo and implication and just simple egregoric alchemy. As well, above Taurus in the constellations, right over the head of the bull, is where Auriga the charioteer is located. And he is slaying the bull, Mithras slaying the bull. And if you take the Tauroctony, the bull is generally, in most art, the bull is facing to your right. But if you flip the bull to face to the left, it fits onto the zodiac quite perfectly. Which I'll just use the United States map. So ancient maps of Rome, the old Rome, before it expanded all the way up to Germany and expanded up far north, just before the fall of Rome, the extended territories of Rome all around the Mediterranean make the shape of a bull that has been cut open for the butcher. It's half of a bull laid out on a butcher's table. And the sword going into the scapula of the bull, that is the soldier's technique. That's how a soldier incapacitates the gun arm or the sword arm of an enemy. The first dropping of the knife in a knife attack should be going into the scapula of their gun arm or their sword arm. That's standard operating procedure. That actually took place at the Rolling Stones concert, where a black man wearing neon green, just like the wristbands for the Corona lockdowns, this black man wearing neon green, he had kicked over the Hells Angels bikes earlier that day, and they were keeping an eye on him. And as soon as he got out of line, one of the Hells Angels came in and gave him the kill shot. You can see his arm go limp if you watch that video. It was a perfect Mithraic execution of the proper procedure for taking out an enemy. So even that is a multi-generational trigger, that the colors will be resurrected and launched onto the masses to generate a great amount of animosity. Those neon green wristbands, that is the new trigger. It's triggering this color green. And during the vice presidential debates, the people to come into the debates, they had to wear this color wristband. And so the moderator of the debates, she was wearing the triggering color that goes all the way back to the Hells Angels, where they glitched that one single black dude he was looking great, man. I loved his outfit. I loved his costume, but it had to stand out for the cameras. Fascinating that they caught that on camera. So something that came to the weave had a great amount to do with all of the things around Taurus. The Taurus constellation is where Orion is located, and he is the grand hero in the sky. Now, I've spoken before about Moses and monotheism, and the idea that ancient Yahweh from the Israelites of certain sects of history were actually worshiping the volcano god. And this is so fascinating to me. It's a gift that just keeps giving, because the word Hawaii is a phonetic anagram for Yahweh in reverse. If you phonetically just say the word Hawaii in reverse, it becomes Yahweh. So Hawaii and Yahweh is, again, this volcano god. And you can see the magma chamber of Hawaii here. So yeah, Hawaii is this moon card in the territories map down here in the off the coast of the southwest of the United States. So moon card goes here. The Hierophant is not in Chicago in my territories. That is fascinating. The Hierophant is in Minnesota. Or no, not Minnesota. I think I misspoke earlier on the telegram. Oh man. Nebraska, up in Nebraska. I believe it's Nebraska has the buffalo is their flag. However, the Auriga, the charioteer, is also in the territories map is right over the shoulder of the Hierophant, where, oh, Montana. Helena, Montana is an anagram for Atone Heal a Man, and also on the Analema. It's a double anagram. So Auriga, the volcano god, is right over the bowl on the shoulder of the Hierophant card in Taurus. And so you would put those in Montana right here. And what is under the earth in Montana is the volcano, the Great Calderon volcano. So the Yellowstone volcano is also signified by this Aeon card. In other cards, it's the Judgment card. So all these earthquakes and all these volcanoes and all these conflagrations going off are triggering the psychic consistency of these systems. So these are the two cards in the territories map that hail to Montana and the entire extreme northeast in the territories map. You see I have the bull's horns here. I'm not sure if you guys can see my territories map, but I'll try to bring a graphic to make it more consistent. But what is really wild, Chicago is not necessarily the Hierophant in my territories map. Chicago is absolutely, positively, the Chariot card is Detroit, and where is, oh, here. And Gemini Soda is the Lovers. This is Gemini Soda because Gemini is the Lovers card. So Minnesota is here and Detroit is here. Chicago is right at the dividing line of the summer solstice, right there. And what is really blowing my mind is I've been tuning into the meteor shower cycles. And wouldn't you know, it will be on September 1st when the Aurigid meteor showers kick off. So all of this drumming of psychic trepidation around volcanoes, earthquakes, and the earth doesn't love us is making an offering for these upcoming weeks, moving into the Aurigid meteor showers. And sure enough, in these upcoming weeks, on the Analema, we are going to cross over. The X marks the spot. 8/23 is the beginning of the Vulcanalia festival. It's generally a multiple day festival. And then on 8/27 is the beginning of Vulturnalia. And this is, they say it's from the old Fasti calendar, it's a holiday celebrating the river god of the Tiber River. And it's also a multiple day festival. But when the scraps of the festival are done, that's when the vultures and the crows come out to clean up the scraps. And so in the spring, let's see, here we go. In the spring, we have a hostage chained to a cliff. That is Andromeda, also a correspondent to Perseus. And hostage chained to a cliff is Prometheus. Prometheus is chained to tax day, and the X, tax day, is where the Savior who brought the fire down to man and stole it from the volcano god. Well, sure enough, right here, descending, this is the holiday of the volcano god, and then there are vultures eating out the liver of Prometheus in perpetuity forever and ever and ever, over and over. He regenerates every night, and they come back to eat his liver. So the alchemical inevitability of repeating and echoing these patterns is very powerfully baked into the cosmo-mythological systems that have been epigenetically passed down from the ages. So one thing about the Windy City and Gemini Soda, one fascinating thing about having twins and a chariot at that summer solstice line. One interesting thing is that the Chicago Cubs are a powerful egregore that corresponds to Chicago, as it is in the Cancer constellation, that there are two, the minor deacons of Ursa Major and Ursa Minor, the Cubs. And in the Bible, there's an aspect of Revelations where they say that the baby cubs actually wandered off and started pursuing a some other animal. And the mother cub has spent, ever since the times of revelation, that the mother is actually pursuing her children instead of the children pursuing her. She's looking for her lost cubs. The Cubs lost every championship ever, forever and ever. They had this incredible losing streak. So the lost Cubs is a hail to that biblical story of the Cubs of the heavens being lost for a prolonged period. One other thing about Michael Jordan being number 23, the number 45, and the number 9 is Van Damme. I think I mentioned Van Damme. He does that, the splits between the two automated semi-trucks. Van Damme is a dancer. He is the Eridanus River is running off of the feet of the Orion constellation. Eridanus is an anagram for dancer. Michael Jordan is a grand hero of the Bulls, the Chicago Bulls. Michael Jackson is the greatest dancer of all time. MK Ultra Jackson is the greatest dancer of all time. So here is the dancer, and here is the hero. This also signifies John the Baptist. A lot of people who worship John the Baptist are worshiping the Baphomet head. These are the brain eaters. They are have a long lineage of eating skulls. And if you care to study Oscar Kismaert, who I don't back everything he says, but the mythology has a lot of potency because it's so gross. He asserts that the brain-eating cults, that their skull is actually elongated because they eat the brains. It causes an inflammation that is actually passed down, especially if it's done while the child is in utero, that the child will have an enlarged skull. So the brain-eating cults, for one, it means that it's not aliens from elsewhere. It's just people getting freaky. But yeah, I'll bring Oscar Kismaert's The Beginning Was the End, I believe is the title of his book. But I'll bring a graphic of that. So I just wanted to bring the great hero of Michael Jordan, the Jordan River, and Michael Jackson, the dancer, the Eridanus. The Jordan River is the Eridanus River in mythology. And so the consistency of it is just drumming up from what our ancestors believed, but they believed it under the threat of retribution, dark retribution. So it was a forced belief. So I just want to pull the rug out from under the force. And I want to give us free will on if we will choose to fear or choose ambivalence. You know where my vote is. You know where I stand with this. Yeah, the threat of putting a mushroom cloud over Chicago has been seeded from the ancient mysteries of mysteries. All right, y'all. I just wanted to hand that key over to y'all. Big love and respect. Might be a minute till you hear from me, but I just wanted to put all these weaves into powerful context so everybody can find balance, can return balance to their own force, and find the diligence, the perseverance, the sovereignty, to find sovereignty in your thoughts. And just to understand that the consistency of these systems is nothing more than the power of suggestion. And I suggest you disempower all of that. All right, strength and wisdom. Much respect.